In this video I'm going to replace the outside speakers with something that's a little bit better. And I'm going to try to make them look like the stock speakers, which may not be the best idea. And if they eventually don't work out, I'll just replace them with something bigger. But for now at least, I want to try to keep it stock looking. This is a popular speaker enclosure, and it's one I have on my coach, and is advertised as being a 5 1/4 inch speaker. But the speaker is really terrible, so I wanted to replace this. When I disassemble it, this is the speaker that was inside. There's no way on this earth that that's a 5 1/4 inch speaker. If you look in the back, it says 5 1/4 inch marine speaker with LED lights. The new speakers themselves, the drivers, are Polk DB351s, which are truly 3 1/2 inch. And you can see these are slightly smaller, so these are probably a 2 3/4 to 3 inch speaker. And even though we go in with a higher quality speaker with a separate tweeter, or this is just what they call a whizzer, you know, we have to accept the limitations of the small speaker size unless you want to replace the enclosure. This is a type that have little LEDs that shine in the middle. We can also see the LED strip that's built into the back side of the speaker. The Polk website does not show them anymore, so they may no longer be made, but I'm still seeing some on Amazon, eBay, and other dealers, so they're still stock out there. If speakers are no longer available, you should still be able to find other brands such as Kicker and Infinity in the 3 1/2 inch size. And one of the things I wanted to do is keep a factory look, so we're going to reuse these. And the challenge is the speaker will not fit into this enclosure. It's too big. So I printed out a couple parts. Here is the base that screws in to the existing holes, and then the speaker will go into here after you cut off these tabs. Then the top has a cutout for the speaker diameter that will go on top. And I've actually already installed it in the other speaker, and you can see after taking the tabs off, screwing these together, when we put it into the speaker, then everything fits. However, then the problem becomes this part of the magnet sticks out too far. Now, if your RV has a hole behind the speaker, this is not a problem. Or you actually can punch a hole on the inside of your RV. Well, if you don't want to do either one of those, well, then I printed another 3D part that is an extension that fits over the cover. Now we have enough room to install the speaker. If you did like the bling in the cover, I located 6 holes for LEDs. Then there's a little slot around here that you can just fill this void with some black RTV, and that will completely seal that. So again, my website, I have all the 3D printed templates. Per speaker you need a minimum of these 2, and optionally this third one if you have clearance issues. I put this project on hold for a year or 2 until I could figure out a way to mount the speakers within the enclosures, and that didn't happen until I purchased a 3D printer to make the rings. If you do not have a 3D printer, you could probably make the rings out of blank G10 fiberglass sheets. This is the expansion ring, and here's a 5mm LED, and it just fits in there just like that. And when I installed the mounting rings, it closed up the original weep holes, so I had to drill new ones. And all the weep holes are for is to let any water that gets in here drain out. We've removed the first speaker, and wouldn't you know it, the holes are cockeyed. So I need to get rid of the old caulking around the speaker and then wire it up and put new caulking on it. And I've created a lip in this 3D printed part. And I'll take the caulking and caulk all the way around on the inside of that lip, and that'll seal it. I'm not going to do it now because I got to get up on the ladder to do it. It's too hard to do video when I'm on a ladder. And perhaps my biggest challenge was putting caulking around the speakers. It's awful milky, so it's really hard to get that applied right. But I've been in the RV over winter, so I think maybe freezing it didn't help. Well, the project's done, and my wife says it looks like eyelashes. I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I could always get some black paint and paint the 2 LEDs on each side, so only the 2 LEDs in the center are shown down. So if I did get some gruff from my camping buddies, maybe that's what I'll do. I can't really show you how well they sound because I would probably be in violation of some copyright law if I played any kind of music. Plus, you're not really going to hear what they sound like through the microphone and the camera. But the highs seem crisper, and the lows, well, you know, they're not going to be very loud. Because we're only talking about a 3 1/2 inch speaker, we have to be a little bit realistic. And besides, do you really want a lot of bass and get your neighbors mad? Because, again, you're camping. You might not be only feet away from the next camper. So overall, you know, it wasn't that expensive of a project, and it came out pretty good, I think.